Welcome to Retired Pennies World, the home of true coin knowledge and real U.S. coin values. On this channel, we explore rare coins, valuable pocket change, mint errors, and hidden treasures most people overlook. No fake hype, no guessing, only honest facts, real history, and collector-trusted information. If you love coins, want to know what your money is really worth, and enjoy discovering surprises in everyday change, you're in the right place. Let's begin. The 1966 quarter dollar without any mint mark is one of the most misunderstood and interesting coins in U.S. history. At first glance, it looks like a normal old quarter, something people often ignore or spend without a second thought. But collectors know that the 1966 quarter has a special story, and in certain conditions, it can be worth much more than its face value of 25 cents. In 1966, the United States was going through a major change in coin production. Silver was becoming too expensive to use in everyday coins, so the U.S. Mint had already removed silver from quarters starting in 1965. That means the 1966 quarter is not made of silver. Instead, it is composed of a copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer. Even though it contains no silver, this coin still attracts collectors because of its history, condition, and rare errors. One important thing to understand about the 1966 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the mid-1960s, from 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins. This was done to stop coin hoarding and collecting during the silver shortage. So if your 1966 quarter has no mint mark, that is completely normal. All 1966 quarters were struck without mint marks, even though many were actually produced in Philadelphia and Denver. The obverse, or front side of the 1966 quarter, features George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. You will see the word Liberty at the top and the phrase "In God We Trust" on the left side of Washington's portrait. The date 1966 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, you will see a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows with olive branches below. This classic eagle design was used on Washington quarters for many decades. Now let's talk about value, which is what most people care about. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows wear, a 1966 quarter is usually worth face value around 25 cents to 50 cents. However, the value increases when the coin is uncirculated. An uncirculated 1966 quarter with no wear and strong details can be worth $5 to $20 depending on its quality. The real excitement comes with high-grade coins. If a 1966 quarter is graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, its value can jump significantly. Some top-condition examples have sold for hundreds, 300, or even more at auctions. These coins are rare because most 1966 quarters were heavily used in circulation. Another reason the 1966 quarter is popular among collectors is error coins. Errors can dramatically increase the value. Examples include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or wrong metal errors. A 1966 quarter with a strong error can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how rare and visible the error is. It is also important to look closely at the edge of the coin. A normal 1966 quarter should have a visible copper line on the edge. If the edge looks completely silver with no copper showing, it could be a rare mint error and should be checked by a professional immediately. Many people ask if the 1966 quarter without a mint mark is rare. The answer is no in general because millions were made, but rarity depends on condition and errors, not just the year. Finding a clean, uncirculated example today is much harder than people realize, especially one with strong luster and no damage. If you find a 1966 quarter in your pocket change, do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy the coin's value instantly. Instead, store it safely and consider having it evaluated if it looks unusual or very sharp. Next up, 1980 quarter dollar with the P mint mark is a coin that many people overlook, but it still holds importance for collectors and everyday coin hunters. At first glance, this quarter looks like a normal modern coin, something you might find easily in your pocket change. However, when we look closer at its history, condition, and possible errors, the 1980p quarter becomes much more interesting. The year 1980 falls into the modern era of U.S. coinage, long after silver was removed from quarters. This means the 1980 quarter is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, with a pure copper core sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel. It contains no silver, but that does not mean it has no value beyond face value. The P mint mark on this coin stands for Philadelphia Mint. You can find the mint mark on the obverse, or front side of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. By 1980, the Philadelphia Mint was clearly marking coins with a P, which helps collectors identify where the coin was produced. The design of the 1980 P quarter features George Washington on the front, created by sculptor John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, and to the left you will see In God We Trust. The date 1980 appears at the bottom. On the reverse side, the coin shows the heraldic eagle with spread wings, holding arrows symbolizing strength and readiness, with olive branches representing peace. Now let's talk about value, which is the most important topic for most collectors. In circulated condition, meaning the coin has wear from regular use, a 1980p quarter is usually worth face value, around 25 cents to 50 cents. Because millions were made, circulated examples are very common. However, the value increases when the coin is in uncirculated condition. An uncirculated 1980p quarter with no wear, strong details, and original mint luster can be worth $3 to $10. Coins in better condition always attract more collector interest, especially when they have sharp strikes and clean surfaces. High-grade examples are where the real premium begins. A 1980p quarter graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can be worth $20 to $75, and in some cases even more. These coins are harder to find because most were heavily used in circulation over the years. One exciting area for collectors is error coins, and the 1980p quarter is no exception. Errors such as off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or weak strikes can dramatically increase the value. Depending on the size and clarity of the error, a 1980p quarter with a genuine mint error can sell for hundreds of dollars, and sometimes even more. Collectors should also check the edge of the coin. A normal 1980p quarter will show a visible copper stripe on the edge. If the edge appears unusual or missing the copper layer, it could be a rare error and should be examined by a professional coin expert. Another important tip is never clean your coins. Cleaning removes original surfaces and can destroy collector value instantly. Even if a coin looks dirty, collectors prefer original condition over clean surfaces. Many people ask if the 1980p quarter is rare. The honest answer is that it is not rare by date, but rare by condition and errors. Finding a high-grade, uncirculated example today is much harder than most people realize. In summary, the 1980 quarter dollar with P mint mark may seem common, but it still offers opportunities for collectors. While most examples are only worth face value, uncirculated coins and error varieties can be worth significantly more. This is why it is always smart to check your pocket change carefully. Next up, many people search for a 1975 quarter dollar, and some even believe they have one, but the truth is very surprising. The United States Mint did not produce any quarters with the date 1975. If you were looking at a coin dated 1975, it is not a genuine U.S. quarter. So why is there no 1975 quarter? The answer lies in one of the most famous coin programs in U.S. history, the bicentennial coins. In 1975 and 1976, the U.S. Mint celebrated 200 years of American independence. Instead of striking quarters with the date 1975, the Mint produced special quarters dated 1776, 1976. These bicentennial quarters were made for 2 full years, which means all quarters struck in 1975 and 1976 carried the dual date 1776, 1976. Because of this decision, no quarter was ever released with the single date 1975. This makes the idea of a 1975 quarter one of the most common myths in coin collecting. The bicentennial quarter features George Washington on the front, just like regular quarters, but the reverse design is different. Instead of the eagle, the back shows a colonial drummer with a torch surrounded by stars. This special design was only used for the bicentennial celebration. Bicentennial quarters were made in very large numbers. Most of them are common and worth face value, around 25 to 50 cents when found in circulation. However, some bicentennial quarters were made with 40% silver, and those were sold in special collector's sets. Those silver versions can be worth $5 to $20 or more, depending on condition. Collectors should also watch for error bicentennial quarters, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, or wrong planchet errors. These rare mistakes can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the error. If someone claims to have a quarter dated 1975, it is usually a misread 1776-1976 quarter, a damaged or altered coin, or not a real U.S. Mint product. Always examine the date carefully under good light. To summarize, the 1975 quarter does not exist, and that is exactly what makes this topic so interesting. Understanding this fact can protect collectors from confusion and help them recognize the real coins that matter. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to subscribe to Retired Pennies World. This channel is all about 100% true coin facts, real values, and honest information you can trust. Next up, the 1985 quarter dollar with the D mint mark is a coin that many people see every day, but few understand its collector significance. On the surface, it looks like a standard modern quarter, but its mint mark, condition, and potential errors can make it interesting for collectors. The year 1985 falls well into the modern clad coin era, long after silver was removed from quarters. This means the 1985 quarter is made of a copper core with copper-nickel outer layers. While it contains no silver, collectors still pay attention to these coins for their condition, mint mark, and possible rare varieties. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint. You can find the small D on the front side of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. This small letter is very important for collectors because it identifies exactly where the coin was struck. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, created by John Flanagan. At the top is the word Liberty, and on the left side you can see In God We Trust. The date 1985 is located at the bottom. On the reverse, the coin features the American eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows and its talons, and an olive branch below. This classic eagle design has been used for decades on Washington quarters. Now let's talk about value, which is what most collectors care about. In circulated condition, meaning the coin shows wear from regular use, a 1985 D quarter is usually worth face value, around 25 cents. These coins were produced in large numbers, so circulated examples are very common and easy to find. However, the value increases if the coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it shows no wear and still has its original mint shine. An uncirculated 1985 D quarter can be worth $3 to $10, depending on its quality and luster. Coins with stronger strikes and cleaner surfaces are more desirable to collectors. High-grade examples are where the real collector premium appears. A 1985 D quarter, graded MS65 or higher by a professional grading service, can sell for $20 to $50 or more. These high-grade coins are much harder to find today because most circulated heavily after release. Another exciting category is error coins. The 1985 D quarter exists in a few error varieties, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, and wrong planchet strikes. A genuine mint error can dramatically increase the value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars, depending on how rare and visible the error is. Collectors should also inspect the edge of the coin. A normal 1985 D quarter has a visible copper stripe along the edge. Any unusual appearance, like a fully silver edge or a missing copper stripe, may indicate a rare mint error and should be evaluated by a professional. A very important tip for collectors is never to clean your coins. Cleaning can destroy the original surfaces and instantly reduce collector value. Even a dirty coin is better than a cleaned one. Next up, the 1983 quarter dollar with the D mint mark is a modern U.S. coin that is often overlooked, but it still has collector significance. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter you might find in your pocket change. However, factors like the mint mark, condition, and potential errors make this coin interesting for collectors and hobbyists alike. The year 1983 falls within the modern copper-nickel clad coin era, long after silver was removed from quarters. This means the coin is made from a copper core sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel, giving it durability for everyday circulation. While it contains no silver, collectors still study these coins carefully, especially high-grade examples or error varieties. The D mint mark on this quarter indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. You can find the small D on the front of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Mint marks are extremely important for collectors because they reveal the origin of the coin, and sometimes coins from certain mints can be slightly rarer than others. On the obverse, the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The word Liberty appears at the top, and In God We Trust is displayed on the left side of Washington's image. The date 1983 is at the bottom. On the reverse, the coin shows the classic American eagle with spread wings, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. Now let's discuss value. In circulated condition, meaning the coin shows signs of wear, a 1983 D quarter is usually worth face value, around 25 cents. Millions of these coins were produced, making circulated examples very common. However, the value increases for uncirculated coins, which have no wear and retain their original mint luster. An uncirculated 1983 D quarter can be worth $3 to $10, depending on its sharpness, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. The real premium comes with high-grade coins. A 1983 D quarter graded MS65 or higher by a professional grading service can sell for $20 to $50 or more. High-grade coins are harder to find today because most were circulated heavily after being minted. Another way collectors find value is through error coins. The 1983 D quarter is known to exist in varieties such as off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. Genuine mint errors can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes fetching hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity and visibility. Collectors should also examine the edge of the coin. A normal 1983 D quarter has a visible copper stripe along the edge. If the edge looks unusual or entirely silver, it could indicate a rare mint error and should be professionally evaluated. One very important tip: never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and reduces collector value. Even a dirty coin is far more valuable than a clean one in the eyes of serious collectors. Next up, we're taking a detailed look at the 1966 Washington quarter, specifically the ones without a mint mark. You might think this coin is ordinary because it's very common, but there's more to it than meets the eye. From collector tips to hidden value, we're going to cover everything you need to know about this 1966 quarter. The 1966 quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and unlike some later coins, it does not have a P mint mark. This is normal, as Philadelphia didn't start using mint marks on quarters until 1980. This coin is made of copper-nickel clad, following the 1965 change from silver to clad coins, which means it does not contain silver. Millions of these coins were produced, so it's one of the most common quarters from the 1960s. Now you might be wondering, is a 1966 quarter worth anything today? If your coin has been circulating in your pocket or wallet, it's typically worth just face value, around 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated condition, those that have never been used and retain their original shine, can be worth $1 to $3. High-grade coins, graded MS-65 or higher, can reach $5 to $25, and rare examples with top grades or errors can even exceed $50. So even though this coin is common, there are ways it can be valuable to collectors. What makes the 1966 Philadelphia quarter truly interesting is condition and errors. Coins with sharp details, full luster, or unusual die errors are highly sought after. Some errors that collectors look for include double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. Even minor anomalies can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a collectible. Paying close attention to these features is key for anyone serious about coin collecting. Grading is another factor that impacts value. Coins are graded from MS-60 to MS-70, with MS meaning mint state, which indicates uncirculated coins. Higher grades almost always mean higher value. For example, a coin graded MS-65 can be quite desirable to collectors, while coins graded MS-66 or higher can command significantly more. Professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC can confirm the authenticity and grade of a coin, increasing its market value. Collectors also enjoy hunting for rare varieties. Even though the 1966 quarter is common, some coins might have die cracks, faint doubling, or slightly off-center features, which make them unique. The thrill of finding a rare coin hiding in your collection or change is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. You never know when a coin that looks ordinary could be a hidden gem. If you're a beginner, here's a tip. Always examine your coins carefully. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for small details that might indicate errors or anomalies. Proper storage is also important. Keep coins in holders or flips, avoid touching them with bare hands, and store them in a dry, stable environment. Well-preserved coins maintain their value and can even appreciate over time. The history of the Washington Quarter series adds even more appeal. Each coin honors George Washington, the first president of the United States, and has been in circulation for over 90 years. Even a 1966 quarter without a mint mark carries a story of mid-20th century U.S. coinage. Collectors value both historical significance and condition, and this coin has a little bit of both. Finally, remember that even common coins like the 1966 Philadelphia quarter can surprise you. Rare errors, high-grade examples, and coins with exceptional luster can fetch much more than face value. By examining your collection carefully and understanding what makes a coin desirable, you could uncover a hidden treasure that others overlook. To wrap up, the 1966 Washington Quarter, no mint mark, is a fascinating coin because it's common enough to find easily, yet can hide serious value for collectors. From circulated coins to high-grade uncirculated examples and rare mint errors, this quarter has something for everyone. Next time you see a 1966 quarter, take a closer look. You might have a hidden gem in your hands. Next up, we're exploring the 1974D Washington Quarter, minted at the Denver Mint. At first glance, this coin might look ordinary because millions were produced, but don't be fooled. Some 1974D quarters can surprise collectors with their hidden value. The 1974D quarter is part of the classic Washington Quarter series, which started in 1932. Unlike older silver quarters, coins from 1965 onward, including this 1974D, are made of copper-nickel clad, meaning they contain no silver. Millions of these coins were minted, so it's very common in circulation. However, condition and rarity can make certain coins stand out to collectors. So, what is a typical 1974D quarter worth? If your coin has been in circulation, it's generally valued at 25 to 50 cents, just above face value. Coins in uncirculated condition, never circulated and retaining full luster, can be worth $1 to $3. High-grade coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell for $5 to $25, and rare top-grade coins, or those with errors, can exceed $50. So, even though this coin is common, there is potential value for collectors who know what to look for. What makes a 1974D quarter more valuable? First, condition matters greatly. Coins that are sharp, shiny, and free from scratches are more desirable. Second, rare mint errors can dramatically increase value. Some of the errors collectors look for include double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets. Even subtle anomalies, like a doubled mint mark, can make a coin highly collectible. Grading is another factor in determining value. Coins are graded from MS60 to MS70, with MS standing for mint state, which means uncirculated. Higher grades almost always command higher prices. A coin graded MS65 can attract serious collectors and sell for $5 to $25, while MS66 or higher coins could be worth $50 or more. Professional grading by services like PCGS or NGC certifies coins, increasing their market value. Even though 1974D quarters are modern and common, collectors still hunt for rare varieties and high-grade examples. Some coins may have die cracks, doubled features, or unusual color tones, making them unique. The thrill of finding a rare coin in your pocket change or collection is one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. You never know when an ordinary coin could turn into a hidden treasure. For beginners, here's a tip. Always examine your coins carefully. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to look for mint errors or anomalies. Proper storage is important too. Keep coins in holders or flips, avoid touching the surface, and store them in a dry environment. Coins that are well preserved maintain their value and may even appreciate over time. The Washington Quarter Series also carries historical significance. Every coin honors George Washington, the first president of the United States, and has been in circulation for over 90 years. Even though the 1974D isn't silver, it still holds historical value and an important part of U.S. coinage history. Collectors appreciate both the history and condition of coins like this. Finally, even common coins like the 1974D can surprise you. Rare mint errors or high-grade examples can sell for far more than face value. By examining coins carefully, you could uncover a hidden gem. The key is to pay attention to condition, anomalies, and historical context. To sum up, the 1974D Washington Quarter is a coin worth examining. From circulated coins to uncirculated high-grade examples and rare errors, this coin has something for everyone. The next time you find a 1974D quarter, take a closer look. You might be holding a hidden treasure in your hand. Thank you for watching Retired Pennies World. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any coin discoveries. Share this video with friends who love coin collecting, and remember, even the most common coins can hide the biggest treasures. Keep hunting, and see you in the next video.